Good day, sir. Today I am going to present to you the training facilities for work-based learning and monitoring tools for work-based training. But for now, I will explain first the training facilities table in Activity 1. So before I forget, I will introduce first my trainee, which is focused on my respondent number 9 with the most number of identified training gaps needs to be trained. So today po, I am going to show you the list of tools, equipment, and materials. So the first, training requirements, which are input data into a computer, access information using a computer. So as you can see here po, I also include the training activity or task of the trainee that they need to perform during the activity. Next to the next column, as you can see the tools, equipment, and materials that required of the trainee to use during the performing the training activity task in housekeeping and C2. Next, we have in training facilities. So as you can see, I am copying this to my training regulation qualification, which is in housekeeping and C2. So let's come now with my activity 2, focus on trainees record book. So here po, the respondent that I choose, which is the respondent 9 with the most number of identified training gaps, needs that they need to be trained. So according to my paper that I used to my survey, she included their name, which is she is Maria Gail G. Magdaraog. This person is studying at CSPC, training duration which have for 18 hours, qualification focus on housekeeping and C2. So next, I move to unit of competency of the trainees, which is first perform computer operation. So let's come now with the learning outcome. First, input data into the computer, access information using a computer, produce output data using computer system, and maintain computer system. So as you can see here, the next column, which is the task activity required to do of the trainees in performing housekeeping task. So the last column, as you can see, all of these are competent or means that the trainee having the necessary ability or knowledge or even skills to do something to be a successful. So next unit of competency is provide housekeeping services to guests, and learning outcome we have lies with other departments. So meaning it is a working relationship or to cooperate. So next competency, we have clean and prepare rooms for incoming guests, learning outcomes, which is set up equipment and shoe list. Next competency, laundry linen and guest clothes. So the learning outcome, which is perform laundering functions. And the last one competency here, we have deal with handle intoxicated guests. So the learning outcome, apply appropriate procedures. So the last column, you can see the word competent, meaning the trainee or all the trainee are competent to do the activity, or there are necessary ability or knowledge, skills to do something to be a successful. So for my last activity 3, which is focus on trainees progress sheet. So for my last activity 3, focus on trainees progress sheet, which is I will be going to explain the unit of competency, which is perform computer operation. And below of the unit of competency, which is the learning outcome, perform data into a computer. And beside the unit of competency, I also include the training activity that related to the learning outcome of the unit of competency. So beside the training activity, I also include the training duration, date started, date finished, and rating, which is all of the students are competent, and the initial of the trainees and the initial of the supervisors. I also include access information using computer, produce output data using a computer system, maintain computer system, and another competency which is provide housekeeping services to guests, and the learning outcome lies with other departments. And other unit of competency which is clean and prepare rooms for incoming guests and set up equipment and show list, which is the learning outcomes. Unit of competency, laundry, linen, and guest clothes. The learning outcomes, we have perform laundering functions. And with the last of competency, which is deal with handle intoxicated guests, and the learning outcome, which is focused on apply appropriate procedures. Then I add all the training duration in total of 206 hours that related with the training activity or task of the training. And that's all, sir. Thank you so much for listening.